Hey there and welcome to this week's edition of our Feeling Smarter video series. As you can see, both Tim and I are together in Adelaide. We've just been presenting at the ASF Technical Summit. So today we're going to take a look at a question that we've had from one of our members, and this is quite topical because of the recent introduction of measures into Parliament around the non-arm's length expenditure rules. So the question to you, Tim, here is around the fact that we have a commercial lease with a related party. They are in practice as an accountant, and there are concerns obviously with these proposed measures and the views that the ATO naturally expressed within the LCR 2021/2 as to what steps they should be taking to ensure that they don't kind of encroach too far around what would be an arm's length arrangement. So to you, some of the comments from that particular question.
Yeah, look, I think the main thing for me, Aaron, is that if we draw down into LCR 2021/2, which is, I guess, our guiding document in regards to non-arm's length expenditure.
Yep.
You know, one of the things that the ATO make a strong point about from a compliance activity point of view is that they really want to see that trustees have gone to some effort with regards to their undertakings for why they've entered into specific arrangements.
Yeah.
And so such things as a lease arrangement, what I see that sort of pointing towards is that the tax office want to ensure that when you're drawing up your lease, you have taken into consideration all the issues that you would take into consideration in any sort of lease arrangement. And so, we've seen through COVID times that leases and the terms of leases changed quite significantly. And often, people would get worried because, people were giving favourable terms to ensure that they could lease property out. So then the concern turns, well, if we can't provide those, or if we can provide those to non-related parties, should we then be providing them to related parties? And the simple answer to that is yes, because otherwise, you're differentiating between one and another party.
Yeah, and so benchmarking in many facets of what we do in our industry is crucial, right? So to be able to demonstrate here that what is a commercial level of rent, commercial level of incentives and stuff, we need to understand what is happening in the market. And we spoke last week in our LRBA discussion, the importance of benchmarking and safe harbour and that. So we don't necessarily have any safe harbours that sit in here, but the fact that you need to have that evidence that enables you to ensure you've got the accessible market value of things certainly is going to go a long way to avoiding any issues of NALI being presented.
Well, correct. And I think you've hit the nail on the head there in that it's almost impossible to be able to put safe harbour rules in place with something like the terms of a lease, because the terms of a lease are going to be subject to so many different variables based on the, just the industry that you're working in, the location of the property, all sorts of other things. So it's not like an interest rate where you can benchmark it against something else. So I think as long as you're going to the extent of doing your research as to what is appropriate and ensuring that what you would provide to a related party doesn't differ to what you would be providing to a non-related party, then that's going to give satisfaction to the ATO.
Yeah, and the other part to this is, when we think about NALI, the NALI provisions in 295/550, it's only one part of the coin, isn't it? Because the other side is our arm's length dealing rules within Section 109 from a SIS perspective. So we've always got to balance out what does SIS say and then what does tax actually refer to.
That's right, and I think that's the critical thing is that we're putting all this focus onto the tax side, which is really about the benefit to the super fund. We've got to make sure that there's also no benefit to the related parties outside of the super fund, because then we have SIS issues.
Yep, absolutely. So the concept of NALI we're going to be talking about in our upcoming Changing Face of SMSF. So if you want to find out more, and Tim, we've just seen that, as we said up front, introduced into Parliament. So the government has now settled on their position for the SMSF industry. So we're going to be talking about that. So if you do want to find out more, go to our website, smartersmsf.com/events, and you'll be able to register to join us for that session. Our members, obviously, it is included as part of the membership. Good to catch up.
You too.
And we'll see you for our next week's episode. Take care and bye for now.
Bye-bye.